All right. Whew. Welcome to the Straight Red Card. We just had a good laugh there, so I'm trying to pull myself together. All right. So before we start this segment where we rate all the players, God damn it, pull it together. All right. So we're going to rate all the players from the Canada game, not the Canadian players. They did really good. We didn't do so good. We won the game, but they did good. We didn't do good. That's how that works. But we're going to work out who did less good and lesser good and bad. And we'll give you all those. But before we move on, make sure that you like it. Don't smash the like button. Just lightly tap it with whatever, dangling thing you have around you. All right. And then the consequences of that are going to be on you. Then subscribe. Why should you subscribe? Well, why the hell not? I don't know. You don't like soccer? We like soccer. Oh, football? You like football? We like football too. So subscribe to this channel. Oh, you like U.S. men's national team? You like tracking it, following it? Yeah, we like it too. Yeah, join the show.
Or if you're just too lazy to do the work, you can subscribe and listen to us do the work.
That's right. That way you don't have to do anything. You can just listen to us babble, and you will come out of this conversation more confused than ever.
And you can go to your friends and show them how much you learned. Like, no, I knew about that guy. He was great. X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And they'll spend a second of your life outside of the 10 to 15, 20 minutes that we take of it.
And after you're done explaining to them what you heard on this show, they will think you're a complete idiot. All right. Then you need to share this with whatever drunk relative that needs help, needs entertainment. We're really good on the toilet, so they can watch it there. Also, check out the Patreon because I said it was delicious last time, but I think, it's been baking longer. It's going to be even better as we get that going.
By the third segment, it's going to be dry.
Well, you got to cook it slow and low, Brett.
There we go.
Like a good rack of ribs.
There you go. Yep.
All right. And that's going to be our other sideshow soon. Two Fat Foodies. We're gonna make that happen. That's going to be a show soon too, where we're both foodies. Brett's a foodie. I'm a foodie. So on the show, we're supposed to give these players ratings, and then we're going to say whether or not they're on course to make it as a backup player on the A team, the U.S.
or starter. You don't know.
Or a starter on the U.S. men's national team, barring things, all kinds of things that could happen between now and then. So based on their play so far, what's their grade, and have they shown to Greg or to us, fuck Greg, whether or not they're worth thinking about as a player for the qualifiers coming up. And Brett, God, I'll give you the easy one to start with. We'll
roll on. Okay.
No.
Okay. No. Turner. Really my bad.
Yeah. We always start with a goalkeeper. Come on.
I gave Turner a B+ in this game.
All right. We always start this way where I'm the easy grader at the beginning and then I'm the harder grader at the end. So I gave Turner an A.
Okay. I thought he was he had a clean game. He made some key saves. Sure. He wasn't. He was tested a little bit, but he didn't really have to make any spectacular saves, and he didn't have to make too many good distributions with his feet this game. So,
yeah,
that game is B+. That's still a really good grade, guys.
It is. B+ is good. Maybe I should move mine down to an A-.
No, not that. Keep the A. The A is nice.
Okay, I just went with a standard A, not an A+, but just like A. The guy did his job.
Yeah. And he did it well. Yeah, I was not concerned when he was. I have not been concerned with him in the goal outside of when he plays with his feet, but I have not been concerned whenever the opponents are coming down getting ready to take a shot. I felt pretty confident with Turner so far this tournament.
Am I wrong? But did I hear somewhere along the grapevine that Lawless said he's our number one goalkeeper right now?
No, I'm not going to say no because I don't follow all of Lawless's shenaniganry. But
I didn't.
But I feel I 100% agree with some of our fans that he's out to troll, and he's trolling for clicks. He's trolling for comments and views. He doesn't care if he sounds like a jackass.
He doesn't.
But I mean, he's not our number one. No way.
Now, I don't think he's gotten to the number one status yet, but I think he's right in there mixing it up with Horvath and Stefan. I think there's a real honest to goodness battle that could happen in the next 6 months between all those players. But I don't see any interest in Turner overseas right now. And I'm not saying he has to go overseas. I'm just saying he's proven he should be overseas. And
he could. He absolutely could be overseas. And hell, I mean, Horvath just went to Forest, so
okay. where he should play, but might not. Just based on, I mean, we don't.
He's got a better chance of playing there than he did at Bruges. But come on,
but
that threw me for a loop. I did not see that one coming. But even though Tactical told us that was a possibility,
yeah.
But I didn't think that was going to be the number one go. I would have suspected he would have gone to Mold beforehand. But regardless,
I much prefer Nottingham Forest.
No, I agree 100%. I'm joking when I say that. I don't think that was ever a consideration. I think maybe there was one report that said that, and I ran with it. Yeah, here at the Straight Red Card, we're all about creating urban legends. We're all about creating them.
Mold a joke. I am so sorry, Brett. It just went over my head. You were so right about that. So yeah, if he went back to Molde, he might as well just quit soccer, honestly. So he went to Nottingham Forest. It's a much better choice. It's a fresh start at a fresh place in a different country that he speaks the language of, although he does speak, I guess I'm told 4 languages. So, I mean, it'll be a new challenge for him. And I think he's got a better shot at starting there. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Sands is me, I guess. I'll do Sands because technically
the next easy one, huh?
He was like the center back, but he wasn't the center back. He was also the holding midfielder when we had possession. I thought Sands, with all the things he was challenged with, I'm giving him an A too, but he's probably my player of the match for us.
I also gave him an A. And quite frankly, looking at the rest of the players, I would have to say yes. I agree with you 100%. Man of the match. He was solid in the defense. He was solid at the number 6 role when he had to go up, and he had really clean passing. So I am fine with that.
I mean, if you really didn't like what Sands did in that game, you're being really nitpicky. Mm-hmm. And hey, if you want to be nitpicky, go ahead.
We missed it. Turner, is he going to make the A team? Yes.
Yes.
He'll be third. He'll be third.
Yep. He'll be one of the 3.
Yep,
for sure. So Sands, on the same token, I say yes. He's made a great case for himself as a backup to Adams.
Dude, he could play at this point. He can play center back too. I mean, with our A team, I'm fine with him being in contention for that spot. But I mean, yeah, as a backup to Adams, I think that's probably the more realistic thing at this point. Playing the 4-3-3 that Berhalter plays.
How many times in that game did Sands arrive to defend a player who was just receiving the ball? Like he knew that's where the ball was going. I mean, he was just phenomenal.
He's a more athletic, smaller center back that can read the game well. Perfect for number 6. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yep. I think he's right now. He just put himself past Busio, Yule, or anybody else that's being considered for that holding midfield role.
I should have brought this up in the last segment, and I wanted to. I have my note here for it. But do you think the reason Berhalter played Sands in that type of a role, where he moved up into the 6 into the attack, is because of the rumors that are going around that Busio might be? Don't quote me on this. I'm going off of rumors. But might be heading over to Italy to finalize his paperwork and everything like that for his transfer.
What I really respect about what you just did is that you didn't say a name of a team you couldn't pronounce.
Yeah, I gave up on that aspect of it. I'm like, ugh.
You didn't do what Pete did the other day and say Venezia.
You know what? In all honesty, that's probably that's how I would have said it too.
It's not a big deal, Pete. Brett does it all the time. It's just not a big deal.
So what is it, Derek?
It's Venezia.
Oh, yeah. It's Italian, isn't it? So
not
sense.
Venezia. That
Not
sounds
Spanish.
like
It's Italian. So okay.
Venezia sounds like
English.
some sort of thing
Whatever.
that might happen to your dick. So, I have a bad case
After a
of
long weekend in Vegas. Okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Bad
So
case of Venezia.
back to the Sands making the roster. Yes, we said that. Okay.
Oh, you want to focus now, dude?
Let's reel it back in, guys.
All right, Brett wants to focus. Zimmerman.
We've had our dick joke. Let's move on.
It just sounds like a venereal disease to me. All right, Venezia. All right, Zimmerman, your grade.
I gave him a B-. I mean, he was only in there for 20 minutes, but I thought he did well enough, but he wasn't in there long enough for me to really grade him worthwhile.
Yeah, I mean, I had him at like a B before he was injured, and then I just gave him an I.
He didn't do anything wrong, and he cleaned up after a Robinson issue early on in the game.
Yeah,
but no, actually, no. I think the Robinson issue was what led to his injury.
It did.
So yep. He still cleaned it up, and oh my God, Holden killed me on that. I'm lucky that we don't do shit live. Holden was like, "Oh, there was contact, but I don't think it was enough. I don't think it was enough for a foul." He was basically saying that the contact of the Canadian player pulling down on Zimmerman's arm wasn't enough to warrant him drawing the foul later on. Like, it's that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough. That was a light contact. I'm like, bullshit. Pulled him off center. Pulled him down.
I think that Stu's been away from the game too long because of a guy yanked on.
I think he's trying to be a little too PC. He's trying to be fair across the board. Is a problem. And Twellman had this issue early on. Early on, Twellman was a fence sitter. It's just across the board, try to be PC, and then eventually Twellman realized, dude, I'm just going to start speaking my mind. Fuck it. Holden hasn't quite gotten there. Maybe a little bit, but I felt like that comment was him trying to be a little like, oh, well, it wasn't that much contact. It was enough to pull him off center and pulling him down. That's why he continued to try to regain balance, but he ended up falling into the guy. It was a foul initially. If the PK occurred, they would have called it back.
On Stu and not the foul, because the foul at this point, it wasn't. But on Stu was a little bit more outspoken when he first got into this game. And that since then he's been more and more he has really muted
as his corporate daddies slapped him down.
He really has.
Reel it in, Holden. Reel it in. We don't need another Lawless or Twellman.
That's right. The big boys have reeled him in like you have reeled me in, Brett.
Hey.
All right, I'll do Robinson. I gave him a B+.
I gave him a B. He had some early bad play, but I thought he came into his own as the game progressed, and he did some really solid defensive play towards as the game went on. So I gave him a B.
I agree with all that. Totally. Vines, I gave his first half.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, Zimmerman, did he make the final roster?
I think he's still in the speaking, so I won't give him a decline on that.
Yeah, he's in contention. But I mean, at this point, when you're talking about Zimmerman or McKenzie or Miazga, long, it's all just okay. Flavor of the month. Why not?
Yeah, I'm keeping him in the discussion.
He's in there.
So we're talking about, are these people really still in contention? Or are they not? And
I think we should just the people we know for a fact are not going to make it.
That's correct. Or we think for a fact shouldn't be.
Do we miss somebody? Robinson. What about Robinson?
Robinson is still in contention for me as well. Thought he's played well.
I think he's played well this tournament, but unless injuries occur, I don't see it happening.
I think
this World Cup cycle. This cycle.
I think he's still in the discussion if 6 months from now he goes on loan to some Bundesliga team, right? So
let's say he's not but he's not a checkoff.
Yeah, maybe there are three categories here. Maybe the one category is like fuck off. Mm-hmm. The other category is maybe if shit happens.
Yeah.
And who knows? And the other category is this guy's worked himself into like a very serious discussion about making the team. So we'll break it down like that. So now we got 3 categories this week.
By the end, we'll have like 12.
That'll just add 15 minutes to this conversation. We're totally screwing this whole segment up. God damn it. We're going to be here all night.
This is more like our conversation. Unlike the last segment where we were serious, this one.
Yes.
Now we're so 2 tumblers in, guys. Hey.
For sure.
All right. More.
Mo, I thought Vines.
Wait. You gave Vines. Yeah. You gave your Vines. My bad.
I'll do Vines then. Okay,
I thought you already did. Oh, sorry. Give your Vines. I'll do more next.
I'll give you my mind on Vines. My Vines was a C, and it's lucky he was a C because he started out as a fucking F in the first half, but made his way back to a C by the end of the game.
Derek.
Yes.
This is our first real difference.
Ooh, you got some Vines love.
I have some love for the Vines this game, yes.
All right.
I gave him
much wine.
I gave him a B.
Okay.
I
didn't like it that much.
I thought there were times where he was defensively sound and he got into the attack. Plus, he got the assist.
He did get the assist, so maybe I should give him a C plus.
Yeah.
I'll move it up to a C plus for the assist. But I have to tell you, while he was very solid in defense, he was less than capable in offense. I mean,
Eric, we had no offense.
I know, but even when we had some, like Lejet was going to play a one pass triangle where Lejet was more central. He passed it back to Vines. Lejet made the run off to the wing, and Vines just like, oh yeah, fuck you, I didn't see you. So he passed it to fucking. Dude, I think it was.
Dude, that was our attack game plan. It was, hey, let's get up all the way into the attack really quick and let's play it back to our goalkeeper. I don't know what happened there, but it was just like they get flustered. Their first go-to is canceled for whatever reason, like maybe the defender blocks it or whatever. So then they're like, pass it back to a center back.
Yes. And it was like he was an automatic pilot. And I'm not even saying anything at this point. My mom yells out, "Is this guy blind?" I'm like, no, he's not blind. He's fully sighted. He just was programmed to pass it back to the center back, even though Lejet made a run out wide that was wide open. And even Lejet stood there afterwards like, God damn it. What the fuck are we doing?
Looking around like
and that was like pretty much right after we scored when we were still trying to develop things. It was like somebody told someone on the field, stop attacking.
And a lot of our attacks in the second half, I thought Vines did better in getting up in there and really opening it up a little bit. But those are few and far between is the problem.
Oh, I'm glad you added that. Few and far between.
Yeah. Well, of course. No, we were offensively dominant in the second half, Derek. Didn't you watch the game? Come on. Come on.
Oh, boy. So has Vines...
No.
You think? No, he's not in the discussion for me.
No, he's not in the discussion.
I'm sorry, he's not.
There's no way.
The problem is Bello's not really in the discussion for me either, and he's not even on this list.
Our left backs consist of Robinson and Dest, and that's it.
Right now,
it is a steep decline after that.
Well, one of our subscribers said Moore can play out left too.
I never would suspect it because I don't think I've ever seen him, but I guess you could say that about anybody. Anybody could play technically out left.
He has for Tenerife.
Has he really?
Yes.
Well, Moore is just building himself a spot in the 23. Moore.
Hell, I play Moore at left back next game, and then because you can play Cannon then on the right. Although I not.
Dude, why not? Why not? That's a great point. I didn't even think about that because I never really thought more of the left as a left back. If he can play left back, at that point, why not?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of like during his beginning stint in Spain, they would throw him out there as a replacement for a guy that got hurt.
I'm changing my segment 3 here real quick.
Okay. While you do that, I'm going to give Vines a 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to move. You're going to move to Moore because I did Vines or
you did Vines. I'm Moore.
Moore.
I gave Moore a B.
I gave Moore a B as well. So we finally agree on something. It would have been lower if he didn't score, but you know what? I probably would have been a C plus, but he scored, so I gave him a B.
So this is an interesting case because he got his goal. I thought he was defensively sound. The problem was he struggled to get into the attack. But I say that, but the entire team struggled to get into the attack. So it's hard. It's hard. You know what? Here's the thing, because we're gonna go over all this, and you know what? We were defensively sound in the sense that we didn't let in a goal. They had few opportunities, and Turner had to come up, but we were defensively sound. And it's just like, yeah, but there's no attack. So I mean,
none.
How do you? This is a tough grade because I felt like he might have deserved more, but then he didn't get into the attack because nobody else offered anything.
I saw what you did there with the Moore.
Hey-o.
He should have got more. Yes,
more.
You know, that's the whole problem with this whole game is that we were just incompetent getting into the attack. We were incompetent building. And so that's 2/3 of the game. So you're really grading guys on how well they played defensively and how well they did in the first 20 minutes of the game. And that's a really rough thing to do because that whole chunk in between is just horrible.
Our entire team was defensively sound for 80% of the game.
I know, but that only for 1/3 of the game. I mean, 1/3 of the factors that you have to take into consideration.
People might take into consideration that we're being awfully nice on the grading scale here. And we kind of are, if you really take into consideration that we didn't create anything offensively. But I mean, we are at this point. We got to grade what we can grade, and let's move on to Busio.
No, we would move on to Busio, but we need to decide whether Moore still has a shot going down the line.
Segment.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Moore, I think, falls into that middle category, not the category, but that sort of maybe. I think he's making it.
Has he leapfrogged Cannon though?
I think he's getting close.
In my opinion, if I was Berhalter and I had to look at this, I might leapfrog Moore over Cannon for the time being, unless you want to look at him as a left back option. But he's been more capable in the attack, and Cannon's only had like 30 minutes, of course, this entire Gold Cup, and he scuffed his only shot.
Yep,
but I don't know. I'm thinking to myself, I'm looking at this. I'm like, I think he may have leapfrogged him.
I think he did leapfrog him right now, but I think he's still behind Dest. If Dest is our right back,
sure,
he's still behind Yedlin. So I think Cannon's the guy, playing himself out of this.
So I guess you got to look at it this way. I mean, do you consider your backup left back? Let's just say you throw Dest as a starting left back, Robinson as a backup. And then you throw in two right backs. But then maybe in the actual game itself, you're playing Dest and Robinson. So, I mean, you still have the two right backs because who in the hell is behind and left back? A whole lot of nobodies.
Yep. So
I think he's worked his way into contention at this point.
I do too, because if it is true that Moore is a competent left back, and I haven't watched those games for 2 years now, so I don't know. If he played competently as a left back, but if he can, then that gives us Robinson and potentially the backup being Moore, and you can just play Dest outright and not worry about it.
There we go. Problem solved.
And then you've got Yedlin and Moore right behind him, and Cannon is just sinking in quicksand right now. I know there are going to be a lot of FC Dallas fans who are going to probably be pissed about that, but Cannon's just not played well outside of that one game where he scored.
Yeah, we give FC Dallas a lot of love from other players too, so I think it's a mix. But
we love us some Tanner Tessman. We love us a lot of the guys that have gone overseas, like
McKinney, Reynolds, Che.
FC Dallas. Whatever you're doing, just keep brewing that stew. Keep doing it. Let's move to Lejet.
We're gonna bypass the rest of the midfield, huh? Lejet, I gave him a C+.
No, Lejet played midfield. He played left midfield.
Or bypassing Busio and Acosta, who are arguably below him in the actual lineup.
Well, Acosta played right midfield. Busio played center attacking. CM.
Depends who you talk to, but yeah, okay. Let's go Lejet. Fuck it.
Hey,
C
look
plus.
at the heat map, baby.
C
It'll
plus.
tell you where all those players were all game. I'm just telling you that we'll move to Lejet, and I will give him a C plus. A C plus.
So now, did you hear my C plus and you changed yours from like a C minus to a C plus?
I didn't hear dick of what you said.
I said like C plus like 5 times. All right. So he got his assist. That's good. I thought he was poor in the second half. And let's see. He had poor free kicks, but he had some decent passes. He maintained possession.
He got the assist.
It was an average game at best. And then he got the assist. Maybe a below average, but he got the assist.
The assist he made was nice, but it wasn't mind-blowing. So
it was a cross, and I'm happy when any crosses are legit.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was a good cross, and in Moore put it in. So there you go.
God, fucking dad jokes.
So Lejet, I think, is still in the conversation for obvious reasons.
Yeah, he's in there still. I think he's still on the 23 regardless at this point.
I mean, yeah, Berhalter loves some Lejet nuts. So there you go. Well, do you get Busio?
I gave Busio a B minus.
You gave Busio a B minus?
Yes.
All right, Brett. I think
be nice here.
You had a little. I think too much of that because I gave Busio a D.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Well, he's horrible, outright horrible.
I stand firm that his incapabilities of playing occurred due to the formation that we played. It did not work in his favor. We talked about this in the first segment of the style of player that he is, and he didn't have the right player next to him. It just didn't work. But he did connect enough passes that I gave him a generous.
Sure, you were very generous. His defense was awful.
No, his defense was god awful. I talked about that too. He had no defense. That was a problem.
He got schooled by Piet.
But I mean, if we're going based off of the conversation we had in the first segment, he wasn't expected to play any defense.
No.
If he gets dispossessed and he has to track back, the problem was he jogged it. And yes, again, B minus is courteous in the sense that the defense wasn't necessarily how he was supposed to be playing, but he still should have got back on it.
All I got to say is Venezia or Busio, his agents, they better take that fucking deal from Venezia right now because his stock dropped like a rock. And you said it. He was played out of position. It's happened to him at Kansas City constantly. Mm-hmm. All right. That didn't help help him, but he played lazy, number one. He was physically overwhelmed numerous times. He lost one-on-ones on the regular. He lost the ball on the regular. I'm sorry, but no, I can't. I got to stick with my D, Brett. I got it.
And like I said, the B minus may be generous in the sense, again, that I'm taking into consideration that he's being played in that formation out of position.
Well, then you can give Greg an
I'll give Greg a lovely grade. Lovely grade for this one.
And move your grade for Busio down 1.
I'd be fine with a C plus in this sense. I mean, again, I'm taking into consideration the formation into it. And here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. He's 19, so I mean, give him some slack in that sense. But a solid player. I'm going to use McKinney as an example here. McKinney went to Europe with Schalke, and he played center back. He played central midfield. He played wings. He played striker. All during that time period.
Yeah.
But you know what? When he was out there, he played his ass off. And the reason why he continued to get played out of position is because they needed him somewhere else.
Well,
And he went to Juve, and even there they couldn't quite figure out where they needed him. They knew exactly where he would benefit the best.
Brett,
but what?
Brett, Busio ain't no McKenny.
Dude, no, I'm just saying. I'm using an example here in the sense that a solid starting A squad player, even played out of position, has to play up to that position.
Well,
so
I'm sorry, I'm giving Busio the big no, not for this round. Maybe next time.
Here's a question though, because I mean, I made the argument earlier that maybe Busio would be a replacement for an Acosta.
Not right now. He's not. Acosta, as poorly as he played, still made the pass that got Lejet open. A brilliant pass, a moment of brilliance. Granted, a brief moment of brilliance.
Well, let's just jump into Acosta then.
Well, okay. Well, first you got to do your Busio. Was he or is he in the discussion for you?
I have to say at this point, given Berhalter's tendency to have Acosta and Acosta's good games at that point, I'm going to go as well.
Okay. All right.
For this cycle, again, he's going to go to Italy. He's going to have a chance to prove himself. Maybe not necessarily this cycle, but maybe the next cycle. Who knows?
So I'll do Acosta. Acosta, for me, would have also been a D, but because he gave the pass to Lejet that got us the goal on the cross, I'm giving him a C-. I thought Acosta ghosted. I thought he tried real hard, and he did well on defense, but in the offense, he was just lost. He just seemed like, I don't know. And that's on to Greg again. The system can seem, so I'm giving Acosta the C-, and I'm thinking, well, Greg's responsible for 30% of that C-.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if I can blame it on Acosta.
So I'm going to go ahead and highlight, right-click, copy, and paste. But I gave him a C, but for the exact same reasons. I think the only reason he had a C is because he had the nice setup for the goal.
Yeah.
Anything, I mean, if he didn't get that, it would have been below average at best.
And we didn't
because he ghosted the entire game. That was the most frustrating part to see.
And we didn't even discuss this in the prior segment, and we'll give it 2 minutes here, 1 minute here. The formation that you throw your players into what was a must-win game. Right, we had to win this game, or else we're going to meet Mexico in the semifinals. So we knew we had to win this game. And you say we're going to try this whole new thing, that you guys have never
formation tactics.
Yeah, let's see if it works. Fuck it.
Roll the dice. Fuck it.
In some ways, Greg's fuck itness is I like that, but not the way he says fuck it. I don't like the way he. There are guys that you meet at a party and it's yeah, they're fuck it, let's go get stoned. You're oh yeah, it's great. And talk about, cool things. And there are other guys that say, fuck it, let's go rob a bank. That's Greg right now. All right. You don't want to go rob a bank because you said fuck it. You want to go say fuck it.
Those are two totally different fuck it's, yeah.
Exactly. So that's the problem with Greg's fuckets right now. It's I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do my own thing. And the thing he does is grotesque. It's grotesque and ugly and hard to watch and boring. And so it's hard. I feel really bad giving some of these players these bad grades, but I don't know what else.
In looking at the midfield, the formation and the tactics did not work with our midfield. And this is why we had zero attack, is we couldn't connect. So again, we're giving these players bad, but every single one of them had a caveat where we're saying the formation definitely didn't work in their favor. And that position that they had to play and the role they had to play didn't work in their favor. And it sucks to give them these bad, relatively bad. I mean, more or less outside of your D for Busio. It was relatively average grades for a midfield. But
it's not like
still, it's just it's not necessarily their fault, but it is kind of their fault because they have to play those positions.
we got to grade them on
Yeah.
the position they were assigned to play. Now, the fact that Berhalter brought a broken roster, a fucked up roster, and he has done some weird shit. I mean, we take that. I'm taking into account a little, but in these gradings, I'm just not, because I can only grade what I see. And listen, I'm not saying that Greg Berhalter is the guy that wants to go rob the bank. All right, I'm just saying he's asking these guys to go rob a bank without a plan in some cases, and just throwing them into a skirmish.
And then bitching about having no attack. Oh,
yeah. Well,
that's the frustrating part of this game is there's no attack.
Well, dude, you could have changed that. You are the manager of this team. All right.
We got to reel this back in, man, because this is going to be another long segment.
DK, Zardas, I gave them both Ds.
You gave them both Ds?
No, my bad. I gave DK I'm sorry, I looked at the wrong scores. I gave DK a C-, and I gave Zardas a C.
You might as well have said D there. Again, I'm going to be very lenient here, mainly because they had no help whatsoever. I gave them both B-. And again,
I can live with that.
They had no service, no help. We were 100% on the defense. When the ball did get into our attack, both players, and I say both, even though I bitched about Zardas starting early in the first segment, but they both worked their ass off to try to create something. And Zardas even took a finger to the eye and a dislocated shoulder. I don't know if it's dislocated by any means, but
DK.
What did I say? Zardas? Yeah, DK. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, they both worked incredibly hard to create half chances. And those half chances could have worked out, but defensively Canada countered that, But again, not their fault. I can't fault them. They both
worked so hard to do what Berhalter wanted them to do. It just didn't realize that wasn't going to work.
Dude, if you're going to go with a 2-striker tandem like that, you can't have the same player. And I'm not saying Zardas and DK are exactly the same, but they kind of play the same type position under Berhalter. You needed a Zardas and Hoppy or a DK and Hoppy type of tandem. Because Hoppy would do the run behind through the defense, cut it off as DK slipping it through. Exactly. That's what you need.
And the big difference is that Hoppy can dribble and Zardas can't. So those are the big differences you need to take into account when you're setting up your team. I listen, Brett, I feel bad that we're just totally taking a big steamy dump.
That's why I'm adding those caveats,
But you have to in this case. Berhalter made this game way harder than it needed to be.
Way harder.
Okay, stop it. All right. Cannon.
Hold on. Nope. I'm going to go and take my next two since we took 2 out. Yule and Roldan, I gave them both question marks because did they really even play?
Oh, we forgot to say whether or not DK and Zardas are on the radar.
DK, yes. Zardas, no.
Yes, exactly. All right.
So Yule and Roldan, I gave them both question marks because, they came in the 73rd minute, but they did nothing but weather the attack. They did nothing but weather it. So I don't think they played. I can't give them a grade because they didn't do shit.
Wow. I watched what they did, and I gave them a grade anyhow.
Yeah.
I gave Yule C-, and I gave Roldan a D.
So you took I looked at it and said they didn't do anything. You said, well, they did do something, but it was all bad.
Yes, pretty much.
With a little amount. So I stand by my no grade because I can't grade them on that because we were constantly on the defense and I don't know.
Roldan was garbage.
Yes,
Hoppy,
we knew that coming into the game.
A perfect pass to him and said, I'm going to run up the field. You one-time it to me. Roldan said, fuck, I got to touch this 4 or 5 times before I do that. That's all I got to say. That summarizes my whole feelings about Roldan.
I guess that would be the take. We made the joke about how all players started an F and we work our way up. But I guess if you enter the field, you're starting at an average grade and then go from there. So I mean, if you're a C is an average, and you go in and you fuck up a really easy setup, then yeah, D would be pretty obvious. But again, I'm standing firm. I'm not grading those two because they didn't do shit outside of.
You and Roldan have never done a one touch pass in their lives. In their lives.
They shouldn't have been subbed in to begin with. There were other players that should have been brought in.
Unless you're just doing defensive stuff. Which
doesn't matter. Bring in Williamson.
Greg was doing.
So
I get it. But yeah. Cannon, C minus, Pines, D plus.
I gave Cannon a B minus, and I gave Pines a D plus.
Okay. All right. So
I thought Cannon had some clean opportunities on the defense, but he totes scuffed that shot. It came out. He had all he had to do was lace it or side it. It doesn't matter. Put it on goal, but he scuffed it, and then it went straight to Busio, who's like, "What the fuck? Do I have the ball? Really? Oh, okay." No, and then God, some people were saying like, I think it was like Holden or somebody mentioned like, "Oh yeah, now Cannon's still in preseason form." Like, he's a professional. He should be able to shoot a ball.
Yeah, that's just bullshit.
I haven't played in a decade, and I can go out there and rip a shot. I'm just saying, come on.
The whole Fox coverage is just excuse making across the board for the most part, except for a few snide comments here and there, which are rare.
Yeah.
And other than that, it's just like, you got to understand, these guys are doing this, and this team's going through that, and someone's parent has a hernia. And, you got to really, empathize.
There was a typhoon over Japan.
It's raining in Memphis, It just, after a while, it's like, stop it, guys. Just call the game as you see it. And if you're watching a shite game, say it's a shite game. It's easy to do. The rest of us were shitting all over it. Casual fans as well, not just the learned.
Did you give Hoppy his grade yet?
Yeah, we got to do Hoppy. I think, by the way, if we run down these really quick.
I was going to do it after we did Hoppy, but yeah.
Yeah, Cannon, he's still in discussion. He better do something soon. Pines.
Nope, Yule and Roldan. Oh, I want to say Yule is not in discussion, but knowing Greg, he still is.
You're probably right, but I'm giving him a big.
I want to as well. And then Roldan is.
And then Hoppy is in the discussion right now. And the reason he's in the discussion, and I gave him a B plus, is because he's a guy who wants to do shit. He's completely fearless. He will take on 3 guys. This is a guy we need to nurture and keep in the picture going forward, especially if DK plays another one of those games, which wasn't all his fault. Still,
but you still got to create it. And I thought DK created those chances when he had the opportunity to. It just didn't pan out by any means. But no, Hoppy definitely drew the foul. He drew fouls for his limited time he was in there.
Yep.
For the 10 minutes or whatever it was, he drew fouls. He brought energy to the attack, and he brought creativity. Things we were lacking for 80% of that game. Again, Zardas didn't do anything really wrong, but why did Zardas start?
Hoppy was technical. He was thinking 2 to 3 steps ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Just, guys like Roldan don't have to think 3 or 4 steps ahead usually. And so they don't do it. And I think Hoppy proved again in his short spurt that he needs to be a starter on this team. I'm not saying he needs to be a starter on the fucking A team. I'm saying, Greg, on this team, he needs to fucking start.
We got the quarters, we got the semi, we got the finals. Start Hoppy. Start DK.
If he doesn't start,
tandem.
If he doesn't start, Brett, I am gonna fucking throw a hissy fit like you have never seen if he does not start one of these games.
Well, you'll like my formation for the next segment.
All right, well, let's just get to the next segment then. Hey, thank you for everybody who's been subbing and getting involved and commenting on stuff and causing chaos. Let's keep causing chaos. Let's be frank. The people who in corporate America who are covering U.S. soccer and the big stations, it's that they're all going to say what they have to say. But there are guys on this YouTube thing here that are not playing on this. You know, they're actually telling you like it is, and you know who they are. You know who they are because we've mentioned them here many times.
You're all sub to them as well. Yeah.
Yep. Keep watching those shows. Keep supporting those shows. Keep supporting us. We love you. We love that you know that we're not feeding you fucking horse shit. So until the next time on the Straight Red Card, yes, go punch a fucking no.